What is up, YouTube? That's here today. We are back playing more Pokemon VGC 2023 content made exclusively for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Today we're taking a look at a really cool Patreon submitted team that features Espathra, a Pokemon that I am super excited to use. I think this thing is so cool. It has the speed boost ability, which is one of, I think it's probably my favorite ability in VGC. I want to actually ask you guys, what is your favorite ability? I really like speed boost. I think it's a really cool way to play the game. It lets you hit hard, lets you hit fast, and again, it's a really fun ability for me personally, but let me know in the comments what your favorite ability is and why. This team's really cool. It makes Espathra function kind of like a Prankstermon. After 1 or 2 speed boosts, you can go for almost priority screens boosted by the Light Clay, and then you can use the Lumina Crash to actually drop your opponent's Spadef and make so your mons like Sylveon, Goldango, and Hydreigon can actually hit things really hard. It also has Dark Terra, which I really like, so you can avoid other Prankster taunt users and things like that. So this thing's killing it for me on the coolness scale. Other than that, the team's really cool as well. We're going to take a look at the person that submitted it. This team is submitted by Admire. Huge writer for this team. Love how people are submitting these write-ups. The point of me asking for this is so, first of all, I can get a general understanding of how these teams get played, but also it gets the person writing it to actually write out their thoughts, and it gets them to basically show their work, right? If, for example, like let's say this team has something on the Goldango, right? This thing says, there's nothing too special about the Goldango. It's holding the air balloon to not get hit by earthquake, so Goldango can also benefit from the Spadef drops that Espathra is providing. So it's showing you how to solve for your win conditions, but they said it themselves, there's nothing too special about this Goldango, which means if we need to replace something, you're also realizing yourself that, yeah, this Pokemon's not really bringing that much to the table, versus something like Sylveon and Espathra. They have a ton of good things to say about it. So it gets you to basically start the starting process of proactively thinking and problem solving for yourself. I will take a look at this team's EVs real quick to show you guys. Espathra, good EV spread, gotta hit hard, gotta go fast. Sylveon's very good. Gyarados seems okay, can be slightly optimized. Mungus can be slightly optimized. This is probably fine. I think Timid's usually still a better play, but it's up to you. And this can be slightly optimized as well. The defensive type in this team brings to the table is very good. That's what the write-up says, basically, is how it has such good defensive typing, which I agree on. I was thinking that I didn't really like the Gyarados here at the start, but after like reading the write-up and looking at it, I really think the mixture of the Intimidate with the dual screens on like a Clear Amulet Mon that has its own sort of speed control from Dragon Dance, like, I can get behind Gyarados. There's also redirection, like forcing your opponent to respect Rage Powder with the Amoonguss and Rage Powder with like the Hydreigon and the Goldango at the same time, while also respecting like Rage Powder next to like a Gyarados. Very good. I think it's a cool team. I'm excited to play it. So what we're going to do now is going and hop into some games, playing 2 or 3 games probably, just get a better understanding from the team. And then what we're going to do is fix the team, make any slight changes we might need to fix that stood out to me, and then play it after in a few more games. So if you guys like this little series, let me know. I've been doing this for about 2 weeks, and yeah, it's been really fun using a brand new team every day, and I just want to thank you guys for submitting all these rentals on Patreon. So let's go and hop into these games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Is that a Beartic? So what is it? Oh man, that's a Swift Swim Beartic. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I wonder if it's Clear Amulet. I think Gyarados is great here. I think Gyarados is actually super underrated in this lead option. And then, like, realistically, what would threaten Gyarados? Maybe like a Thunderbolt Gengar. Beartic's a single target mon. I think Amoonguss and Gyarados are great together, and then you just like repin with something like mid-game that's solid. I like the Hydreigon here. Hydreigon is Steel Terra too, so like we can actually make it so like Gengar doesn't have like a good way to hit us at all. And then I think we'll bring this Espathra. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to use this Pokemon, so let's go for it. This guy's a cool team. Beartic is cool, but it's only like a 50 base speed, so even with the Swift Swim, like, it's still outsped by, like, most mons in the meta. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that, like, outspeeds it, but, like, Espathra at +1 outspeeds it. So, let's see how this goes. I think maybe the Beartic's just there for bait. And what I really like about this team as well is, like, let's see if they go Amoonguss. No Amoonguss. Okay, so they're going to go, like, Tailwind and then pivot in. So, what do we do here? Are we tearing our Amoonguss in this situation? Big Intimidate, by the way. So Intimidate's like really important for this because it makes it so they're not Clear Body first of all. They can't Ilko our Amoonguss this turn. They can go for a taunt, but our Amoonguss, we have Water Terra, not Dark. Unlucky. We're gonna Dragon Dance. I don't think there's a problem with that. Actually, there is. I don't want to do that. We're just gonna go for a Waterfall into the Murkrow, get good damage, and just go for a Raw Spore. If you have Taunt, you have Taunt. I don't think it's that important. Let's see Taunt. Survey says you can Tailwind here. You know, Grass Terra. This is probably my favorite battle theme as well. I like this battle theme a lot. I think it's probably the best one. Let's see if they're pivoting. They're staying in. The turn 1 Terra. I think it's always good if you can help it to like save your Terra. It's probably going to be grass, right? Water. Double dipping. I think they're goggles. They might be goggles. Weird double... Well, not double dip. I guess they're just going to... Because they're normally an ice type, right? Taunt. Good play. Nothing wrong with that at all. Cool. We should outspeed them here. Yep. Let's Eviolite Murkrow. And Ice Punch. It's fine. Yep. Absolutely fine. So we're going to put our Regenerator to work. And we see Orb. Great. Absolutely no problem there. We get our Citrus Berry Act. We're actually going to be back up at full. So we're actually going to take out this Murkrow, pivot, and then save our Amoonguss in the back. Good, good, good stuff. That might take it out. I really want it to. Ice Punch. They shouldn't be able to KO Espathra here. They should not. Should not. We have a little bit of defense investment, heavy HP. We should be fine. Then we're going to just set a Reflect. Remember, they're at -1. Ooh, it's shiny. Nice. Wise choice. There's the Tailwind. That's why we're not Dragon Dancing. We don't need to. We actually just want to get this guy off the board and then use Amoonguss to win the game in the back. Ice Punch should be fine. Yeah, easy. We put a Reflect up there in a couple turns. So Waterfall's fine here. I want that thing to go down so bad. Ah, it's a low roll. Unlucky. So this is where a double Protect is good. Just start waiting out the Tailwinds. The value of Protect. It's so important. The pivot out of the Murkrow is totally fine. It's going to be Pelipper, right? Yep. So let's think about what's actually going to be happening here. I wonder if it's going to be like Electric Terra Pelipper. That would freaking suck. But right now they have a Tailwind plus the Swift Swim. So they're big fast, which is why there's no reason to go for like Dragon Dances or anything. So they outspeed both these Mons, and they have the Liquidates up. We're going to pivot in the Amoonguss here, and then we want to Protect there, and go for a bunch of little things. There's absolutely no reason to try and go for Tailwind, right? Absolutely none. Not Tailwind, Dragon Dance. What have we got in the back? Amoonguss, Hydreigon. We can wait out the Tailwind, but that's like about it. 2 turns on Tailwind. I will Dragon Dance. There's nothing to hit right now. And just pivot in the Amoonguss. And then we'll pop a double Protect, and then go Rage Powder, another Dragon Dance. They're out of Tailwind, and then we should be okay to just start sweeping with Gyarados. Unless that's some sort of weird, like, Electric Terra Pelipper. They already Terra'd. Like, I'm fine. Liquidation in the slot's okay. I wonder if they're going to be doubling into it, or if they're going to be throwing a Hurricane into our Gyarados slot. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Hydro Pump. Cool. Yeah, they thought I might Terra there. It's a lot of damage still. DD baby! Okay. So we can just double Protect, wait out some of the rain, wait out the last turn of Tailwind, and then we should be actually almost outspeeding that Beartic. And if you want to pivot back in the Murkrow, be my guest. Super patient. Should put our Regenerator to work. We're actually going to switch out the Amoonguss next turn, depending on what we see here. SD, okay, dude, all right, I see you, baby. I see you out here. That's a lot. Another Hurricane in the Amoonguss slot. Oh, Gyarados. Okay. I wonder if that would just KO. I don't even know if Gyarados outspeeds that thing. We should. I actually think we do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be bad. Let's both be bad together. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Bad choices. So you have a double speed boost on a base 50, which, if you want to be adamant, you don't actually have enough speed to outspeed this Gyarados. This could go badly. Gyarados isn't even full speed. I think it's like 180-ish. It's 196 plus. Come on, Gyarados. Do it for me, buddy. So you know, like, Protect Tailwind? EQ, cool. This should KO. 252 Gyarados. Ground Terra. Come on. Come on. I know you're not that bulky. Oh, he's not bulky, though. All right, yeah, we died. All right, so we trade Terras. it's not only that we trade Terras, and we have to soak damage from this Pelipper on something. He's probably going to get a free pot shot Hurricane into our Hydreigon, which sucks. He ticks out from the Life Orb, but... Oh, that's probably such a low roll. Oh well. Hydra can miss. God, just kidding. That sucks. Alright, so you can send your Murkrow back here. Amoonguss is too low power. We need to start, like, actually getting stuff done. Yeah, we need to start, like, actually trying to be a bully. Yep, there's the Murkrow. So you can Tailwind and take out one of these. Normally I would outspeed and we can just trade Tailwinds. Is there even a reason to really Tailwind though? I have to try it. Like, yeah, I have to do it like this. This is on Fort. So you're gonna get the Tailwind. You gotta miss a Hydro here. Or Hurricane my Hydreigon. Yeah. Hurricane the Espathra. They might not get the KO. It's okay. We trade the Tailwind. I think the Tailwind trade is very important for Hydreigon in the latter half of this matchup. So that now you can miss your Hurricane. I'm really surprised they actually went after the Espathra over the Hydreigon. That tells me that their last mon might be something like Gengar? Maybe Amoonguss? They're going to taunt this spot. So we're going to protect there. Take it out. Pivot Pelipper. So they want those 100% Hurricanes. Okay. Volk. Can I even deal with that at all? Hard to say. I can probably eat one Hurricane if I had to. Who do we Spore though? It's gonna be Sash Pelipper, like we already know that. The right play in this situation is the Dark Pulse the Pelipper. I think we Rage Powder. We have to flinch or KO the Pelipper right here. And then next turn we would do a Rage Powder like Draco into the Volk. I don't think they're quivering here. If they are quivering, we can just go Protect, Clear Smog, Spore, stuff like that. We need to get this Pelipper like off the board or flinch it. It doesn't get the KO there, we just need to flinch it. Bug Buzz. Yep, that's why we Rage Powder to stop that. We need to flinch a Pelipper here. 100%. That's what we needed. Okay. Do you have Protect? No. Cool. We're gonna get your Pelipper off the board. You shouldn't Oko my Amoonguss with this, and then we're gonna have to. It creates a mix-up where, yes, you want to do stuff with your Volk, but like I think the Sash was on your Pelipper. So. Spore is happening. I don't think they have Goggles, because like they would have been targeting Hydreigon that whole time anyways. So they don't have Goggles. They could have Lum. So we're still gonna Spore. But like, do we Draco and try and just Oko? That thing's a bulky Mon. Or do we go for the flinch? Or do we go for like, we can't Protect here either, so we can't go for Protect play. We go for the flinch, because if we flinch, we just double tap, and they can protect the Amoonguss depending on who they target. Draco wouldn't have KO'd there. That was the right play. That was a 100% right play. If you... Yep, that's the right play! Not even if we didn't get the flinch. Because if we get the Spore, they would have KO'd the Hydreigon, right? And then we would have just been able to two-shot them with the Clear Smog. But we did get the flinch. The only important move that actually... And another reason why I use Dark Pulse there is you don't want to miss. Bro! Let's freaking go. Wins up. These rain teams, man. They think they can just do things, but they can't. Oh, more rain, dude. Okay. We're Terra Water on this Amoonguss, right? It might be time. Terra Water Amoonguss stops like ice and the hurricanes. Like, I think if you, yeah, we just do that. And I do still think that like Gyarados is good, but Annihilate is a little bit more problematic. We can get away with Espathra here. Still bring Gyarados. I think Gyarados was absolutely like amazing in that last one. It was so good. And then Hydreigon is usable here, but I'm not a big fan of Hydreigon versus Scizor. I'm not a big fan of Hydreigon versus Umbreon. Goldango's almost usable. I'm bringing the Sylveon this game. Not a big fan of Sylveon either, but we haven't used it yet, so I want to test it. I think Espathra is just going to be the win con here. Espathra can pop off. It doesn't do much to the Umbreon. So if we ever see the Umbreon, that's one of the reasons why we had to go something like Sylveon that 100% checked that Pokemon. Just because Espathra can't even hit it. That's the only thing wrong with this set is it just can't hit those dark types. So Scizor, Umbreon. So Umbreon's going to be very problematic. They can go for U-turns here, but we can like redirect those away. I'm definitely just going to put up a Reflect. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that. And just Spore into... I'm going to Spore Scizor and go for just a Reflect. This is a win-win for me. Like, something's going on. The Reflect's going off, so it's not bullet punching. If you're Swords Dancing, you're big sad now. There's the U-turn, absolutely fine. So the thing that's coming in here is getting Spore. That's the reason why I want to target the Scizor. Because we can redirect that Umbreon all day. We can do stuff to Umbreon all day. Ain't no problem. We have the Sylveon ready, willing, and able to switch in, punish that thing. But we want to be able to Spore something coming like a Pelipper. Oh my gosh, dude. Value. Unless you got those goggles, you know, unless you got them goggles. Snarl, absolutely fine. Does not matter at all. So Spore there. We're going to Spore the Umbreon slot and just start Luminous crashing the Pelipper. We're going to break that Sash. Don't need to set up a light screen yet. Not required. Break that Pelipper Sash is way more important. Because like we're actually getting faster, so actually next turn we're going to be even faster. So we're actually going to be able to be faster than Golduck in the rain. And we're Sporing the slot over here. It's not even about dealing damage with Lumina Crash. It's about breaking Sash. And sending a message. Let's go. Big damage. -2 Spadef drop. Good stuff. I don't blame them for going like, oh, you can see the Umbreon like already went to sleep. It's a weird like bug. It shows that like things happen. It tells you early. Like Umbreon looked like it had the sleep animation like at the start of the turn. So you can kind of like see ahead of time. Go back and watch that like, that means my Spore works. That means they didn't have taunt. You know, like I was able to know about 2-3 seconds early that they didn't have taunt. So like if I'm at a tournament or thinking about what I want to do to like think about my next turn, I can already start planning for that. Or for some reason like I'm using this and I see that like they don't go to sleep, like they don't close their eyes like that. That means, you know, somehow they stopped it. I got to think about what they could have to stop it. But yeah, 2 Asleep Bombs. We're going to switch out, get a Regenerator proc, come in with our Sylveon, get ready to go for Hyper Voice Spammerinos. And at this point, we want the light screen. Now we want the light screen because the Pelipper can start waking up. We have dual screens up. We're just going to get faster and faster. Pivot out the Pelipper. It's almost like I play the game out here. Show me the Scizor and or Golduck. There's Scizor. We still have a Reflect up, so we're fine. And so what we're going to do here is Terra Fire and just pop the Scizor out. So we're going to use the Lumina Crash to apply a -2 Spadef drop to the Scizor, and I think we can actually just KO it. I think we can. It would be nice if our Sylveon outsped the Scizor here. I don't know if that's the case. Our Sylveon EV spread has 4 points in speed. It has 4 points. It's our spread right there, so we might be able to get it. It's definitely possible. We could even go Terra, we could just Terra and go for a Hyper Voice here. I actually don't hate this play. Just use Terra Fire as like a defense mechanism and just do big damage to Sylveon. Sorry, Umbreon. I like that play. Because I don't even think the Terra Fire would get the KO there. But we still go Lumina Crash into the slot. You see how much value Espathra brings to the table in this team? It's like so good. So we're Terrifying just to make it so we don't get KO'd by Bullet Punch and U-turn. And we're going to be using Hyper Voice because again, we do have to eventually get that Umbreon off the board. It had to be asleep that last turn, but this turn, it could technically wake up, and I don't want that to happen. Lumina crashes up. Big Spadef drops. It's -2. It's like a Seed Flare. It's so good. U-turn. There it is. So something's coming in. Is it a crit? Are you banded? I'm going to say that's banded. It did about the same amount before, didn't it? Yeah, it did. It did about the same amount. Okay, that's fine. but I still think you have some sort of like damage multiplier there. Something's coming in on big damage. I think it's gonna be Pelipper. They think that it's Pelipper. Oh, Golduck. Goodbye, Sergeant. Well, it might live, but like big sad. They didn't wake up and get the Snarl, so this is gonna be big damage to this Golduck. They did not expect a Hyper Voice. And we still have the dual screens up, so it's like, oh my gosh, that's so much damage. Crit the Umbreon, bro. Is it Citrus? And that's our Throat Spray now active, which is another reason why we wanted to go for that. So we have the double KO next turn. We have Terra Fire here, but we just go redirection. Like, dude, just see the value. The unlimited massive value. The only thing they have that can stop this is Safety Goggles Golduck. I've lived I can even Protect here and Scout with that by going for like a Spore. But I think that this will fine. Like, there's nothing else I can really do. We just go for another Hyper Voice and just go for the Rage Powder. Because I'd actually be even more boned, I think. Like, I'd basically just still lose my Protect, and then we give the Umbreon another turn to wake up. Granite Grass type, right? Okay, like, I guess I was going to say, I guess they could have technically also gone Grass Terra to avoid my Rage Powder, but this is fine. Umbreon gets the wake up. Snarl? Helping Hand. Dude, are you Safety Goggles Golduck, though? Not like this, chat. Rage Powder. Hey, what are you gonna do? This guy's too next level if he does it to me. Surf! Okay, that's clean. I guess I should have went Protect Spore. Should have went Protect Spore. Just O-code their Umbreon, though. And you have a Sleeping Pelipper and a Scizor in the back. Remember, I had a Light Screen up. Light Screen was still up. That's crazy. Surf Golduck like that. I did not expect the Surf at all. I will tell you that right now. I've taken Golduck to Worlds. Did not expect that. Water Terra, Rain boosted, Helping Hand boosted. That's some nuts damage. There's the Pelipper. We don't technically need to use, I'll drag it. You Dragon Dance here. You need one Dragon Dance to make sure this works. This is the, oh, you had a Damp Rock. So we Spore you then. Surf again. You're about to one-shot your Pelipper, bro. Almost. Pelipper could technically wake up. That'd be very bad. That's our Citrus. I'm liking the Citrus and Mungas on this team. I've liked it in both the games here. No wake up, please. Dragon Dance. So Spore the Golduck. Next turn we take out the Pelipper. And then we take out the Golduck. Nice. Cool. Had to be asleep that turn. I think Pelipper might have had to have been asleep that turn too. I don't remember if he stayed in on the first turn, but okay. So that guy's asleep. Good night. Good fight, Golduck. Are you one? Oh yeah, they didn't code the Max Mons, the Terra Mons to go to sleep. Forgot. So Waterfall, take out the Pelipper. We don't need that thing happening. Chrismog's fine. Pivot Art Golduck, be my guest. Golduck has to be asleep this turn. Take that thing out. We can just one-shot the Scizor. And I really still think that Golduck's a really cool mon, but he gets two-shotted by this, I think. Yeah, well, maybe three? See, I'm trying to think of like what we have to do in this situation. I think you need to go after the Scizor. Like, if you get the Swords Dance off, like this could get out of control real quick. So I'm just gonna Waterfall it. And I'm gonna Rage Powder because like if for some reason something were to happen, this is the last turn of rain, I would just protect my Golduck, or protect my Gyarados next turn and just go EQ. So yeah, Golduck stays. Like, I didn't want to get crit by something weird. I think the Rage Powder is the right play there because they still have the outspeed. Big damage. We got the crit, we didn't need it. We have a Dragon Dance, we got the full attack investment, we got the rain, we've got the big damage here. That was such a cool Golduck set. I did not expect that Golduck to do that much damage. Yeah, and we had screens. Like, we had it all, man. Because we had it all. And a bunch of other stuff as well. Just a Rage Powder. In case they Quick Claw. But we'll take those wins. I think it's a cool team. Espathra worked. Gyarados is surprisingly very, very good on this team. And, you know, kind of like they were talking about. Like, I feel like the Goldango doesn't really need to come. I feel it's such a waste to have Goldango and Hydreigon and not a Murkrow. And so I promise you, I'm not going to add a Murkrow here. I think the Goldango is important to have for like Sylveons that might give this team problems, but you still have the Hydreigons, so it's like, I don't really know. I do know though that we can tweak a bunch of these EVs, so we'll maybe think of a Mon that we can use instead of Goldango and just give it as like a potential fix. Maybe we'll just do a 1-of and say if you don't like the Goldango, use this instead, but we'll fix the Goldango, fix the Amoonguss, fix all this stuff, and we're gonna go into the team building section, so yeah. Let's hop right into that right now. All right, so let's hop into the team building. Like I said, I think this team's very, very cool. Espathra is great. Hydreigon's great. Amoonguss, Gyarados, very, very good synergy. I'm glad that like the Gyarados Amoonguss worked as well as I thought they were going to work. You know, I record these intros, you know, they say, what's up YouTube, that's here. I record those at the start before I even play the team, and I talk about what I think the team is going to do. And I very specifically mentioned like the value of Amoonguss Gyarados, and they were so well together. I'm really, really surprised by how good they are. Sylveon's great. I do think the Goldango is what's holding this team back, but this rental team is great. Use this rental team in your own games. You're going to get a lot of wins with it. It's a very, very solid team. I do think, realistically, that Goldango could be changed to like any sort of Rotom slot. You can go Rotom Fire, Rotom Grass. Any Rotom slot would actually be really good, in my opinion. But also, just scarfing the Goldango is probably another good option. Just saving it in the back. I felt the one thing I felt this team needed was like, okay, I'm redirecting, I'm setting up my screens, I'm going to pick up my Gyarados or my Sylveon, you know, you pick one basically. And then the last thing I need is like, okay, they picked off my Amoonguss finally, I just need something to help me finish off the game. And that's for like a Scarf Make It Rain Goldango. You can still have the trick on there if you want. It could be really, really good, or a Scarf Rotom in that situation. So maybe you think about using a Scarfmon in there, but you know, let's just take a look at the team right here and start fixing some of this stuff. Let's start with the Espathra. I think this is great. I do think that you can realistically not be I think that you still would benefit from going 4 in there. Like, this is definitely still a timid nature Mon. Luminia Crash is a special attack, so you do need to play it like that. And then you can also from there cut up like the last little bit of this defense that you have right here and go like a 12-4. So it's very slightly optimized, and this thing has a 105 base speed. I like that you're outspeeding things that speed creeps over the base 100, so this is a good EV spread to have. Good. It's just slightly cut up and optimized just a little bit because you do want to do as much damage as possible. I'm sure the reason why you had 0 attack, like, I don't understand why it had special attack reduced nature, because we had only special attacks on this set, but, you know, I was going to say like a foul play thing, but I think this is an absolutely fine EV spread. Sylveon's also good EV spread. I like that you cut these up, but you do need to make your Sylveon just a little bit faster to be able to outspeed other Sylveons. What I would be doing in this situation is I'd plug in my Sylveon here. What's the reason why you have Terra Fires? To outspeed Scizor. I think you should try and outspeed Scizor, realistically. Otherwise, they can pivot against you safely. And every time they pivot against you, we can outplay like we did in that last game, but like that's because I knew I was playing with a Solar Sylveon. So like Sylveon is a base 60, Scizor is a base 65. And, not 65, Scizor. And so you just plug in a Scizor here. Be sure to set these to level 50, which we'll talk about a little bit more in just a moment. So 65 here. So Scizors, for the most part, have like a 252 HP, 252 attack. Every once in a while, you see Scizors with 12. So what we're going to do is we need to get faster than this number right here. So not this number. Faster than 87. So we need to get to 88, which is 1, 2, 3, 4... 60 points. And this is going to let you outspeed not only not only Scizors, but like Grimmsnarls, and there's a bunch of other like faster Pokemon that let you outspeed Pelipper if they don't have investment. So there's a lot of value in putting this up here. So again, I think that it's really, really valuable. Put like 60 points. Yes, it does take away some of your bulk, but I do think that it's more valuable. And I really like that you also cut up the defense and special defense and got 1 point of each. It shows that you're doing things proactively and doing things correctly. So good stuff. I like this. Just a little bit better set in my opinion. Gyarados. I wonder, the first thing is you always have to make your sets for level 50. I think that these EVs still probably work at level 50 and level 100, but the numbers can be a little bit different sometimes. 138, I think this would be outspeeding Pult at +1, which is why you probably have it. Maybe you might even be speeding Pult by like 2, and if that's what you're going for, good stuff. Not Dragon Bolt. We'll plug in Dragon Bolt anyways. We'll plug in Gyarados first. So plugging this in. People are like, that's it. You do the same... you do the exact same example every single time. You always show Dragon Bolt. That's because like Dragon Bolt's pretty important, and like the first step in learning how to like EV train your Mons is learning to understand like what you need to be outspeeding. It's 196 plus nature, right? So that doesn't outspeed Pult. So like you might want to outspeed Pult because like this is a little bit of no man's land. It's outspeeding base 130s like Jolteon, but it's not, it's about 7 more points from outspeeding Pult. So like either you're wasting a lot of points outspeeding Jolteon, or you just need to invest more to outspeed Pult. I think actually you should take some points out and just make sure you outspeed Jolteon, which you still need to be Jolly to do. Because they're like, watch, if we take the Jolly away and give ourselves like a 252 on like a normal set, like an Adamant set, it just barely doesn't reach Jolteon. Jolteon for the people here is going to be this. And you say, like, why am I outspeeding Jolteon? It's only a couple more points to outspeed Jolteon as opposed to outspeeding, like, things like Talonflame and Kilowatt and Meowscarada. So you might as well outspeed the Jolteon, especially because Gyarados historically has a bad matchup against it. And so a Jolteon would look something like this. I also talked about, like, Jolteon's, like, not a terrible Pokemon in this format. Right here. So it's 200. So you do still need to be Jolly. But I would say you would actually be wanting to take a lot of these points out. Because, like, this set right here, this is what you would want if you want to outspeed Pult, 228. But I don't think you really need to outspeed Pult because, like, you don't really have any good moves that Oko Pult anyways. So I would say take all this out and make your Gyarados just a little bit bulkier. 164 with Nature. So you can take a lot of these points out. 164 with Nature. And then from there, look at all these extra points you have. You still have 92 points. Instead of putting 92 here, you're going to put 84. And you're going to do a cut of this. A 4-4 cut, and just a little bit more optimal. We're not getting diminishing returns on any of these things by putting points in a higher weighted HP stat. This lets our Intimidate and our screens do a lot more work for us with a little bit more bulk, and just slightly better. But I really, really like this Gyarados set. I really like the Ground Terra. The Amoonguss, the thing about Amoonguss is you always, always, always have to be speed reduced, 0 speed. If your goal was to be like a Turbo Shroom and be a little bit faster, that works, but you need to be this speed stat so you can actually function. Like, Amoonguss is one of those things you bring in when they get Trick Room up, and then you abuse their Trick Room setters in Trick Room, right? So we don't want to let them get Trick Room up, bring in Amoonguss, and still get undersped, or still go last, because, like, their Mons are all speed reduced, 0 speed natures. You want to also be able to hit their Mons and Spore them, Rage Powder, do all that things. So I would say the EVs were okay. It's a good EV spread, but you do need to be speed reduced. You definitely need to, and again, be sure to get used to making your Mons level 50 when you use them in Showdown. This EV spread still works in both, though. Special Defense Nature. I really like the Citrus. It was really good. I like the Water Terra. This is a good partner Amoonguss for something like a Gyarados. Other common items, or other common Terras would be like Dark Terra to stop pranks or taunts, but I liked this. This was good. Goldango. Again, I think you could Scarf this. I think Scarf Goldango is actually going to be really good. I think the Air Balloon's a little bit too defensive. We have things to switch in if we're afraid of ground attacks. You could always even change your Terra to be something different if you wanted to, but I like the Choice Scarf here. And I like the Trick. So you still keep the Trick, still keep the Make Ring, still keep that, and then you just make this like Terra Blast. And realistically, we would just think of a different Terra to make this guy. I think realistically, Flying Terra is always good, but like this team's not that weak against Flying. So like we're not that weak against Amoonguss. We can just hit Amoonguss with like Espathra and Hydreigon and stuff like that. So let's think about what do we actually want to Terra to if we're going to be using Terra Balls. Like what's something else that walls Goldango? You can check this out by going to Picolytics here. Let's check out Goldango. This is the usage stats. And we're going to see common teammates, common Terrastalizes. Most people are going Flying. But like, let's just think about Mons that like Goldango would really, really like to Oko. Like really. So I'm thinking like Fairy could almost be a good one. Because you can hit this, you can hit this, you can hit this, you know, you can hit this. Like you're starting to see like the value. You can hit this, you can hit this. So like, I think Fairy Goldango is definitely worth testing. It also makes it so like things that would normally be good against Goldango, like dark attacks, are now resisted. So it improves your Hydreigon matchup a lot more. So I think it's worth a shot. And also, if we go Fairy Terra and we go Scarf, we don't actually probably need to have full speed investment. Let's just check it out. And it also helps us check Dragapult more. So Ghoul, if I can type Goldango, set this thing to 50. Remember, Pult is going to be 214. So Pult has a 142 speed stat here. And it goes to 213, so we need to get a 214 with our Scarf. We might still need to be Jolly. Or sorry, might still need to be Timid. And we do still need to be Timid. Actually, you were Modest. You do need to be Timid to outspeed Pult in this situation. But we don't need to have all that investment. We put just a little bit in bulk. So 204 with Scarf. Plus Timid. And again, this is just how I would play this Pokemon. Come out and go for a big Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, or Terra Blast. Like, you're good to go. You can cut this up into 44 here with a 4-4 spread. And I think that's going to be good. Like, I think that's a good, different way to play Goldango that I think is very, very good. You pivot on a good as gold, switching on status moves, and then you just repin out. Good stuff. Hydreigon. This is kind of how you have to play Hydreigon. It'd be nice to have room for Protect. I'm not that big of a fan of Draco on Hydreigon in these formats, just because, like, anything Terra's away that really has a weakness, and if you're not going to be pairing it with Murkrow, I like just having Protect on my Tailwind setters, so that's me. Earth Power is also an option, but if you're comfortable with Draco here, it's a lot of damage, and good set. Hydreigon's a solid mon on this team. So what we're going to do now is go play some games with this team, and hopefully the changes that we made allow this team to function just a little bit better. So let's see if we can go put some of these things that we made into practice. I always give a little bit of GLHF. Baxcalibur Amoonguss with Dozo, Bozo, and Noivern. Noivern's actually a really good mon. It gets a great, like Frisk is absolutely amazing on it. I think Espathra is still the right play, but we can totally get away with probably going like Amoonguss Gyarados here, and we can just Spore Clear Smog the Dozo Bozo if you want to set up. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I like those two together. There's nothing, yes, the Bisharp says like it could have Defiant, but we can just Spore that thing. And then I do think this is a great game to test the Scarf Goldango. And Sylveon just seems too good not to use here, realistically. It does. Like, Yawn's great against Dozo Bozo. It's a good pivot. So they're going to potentially Frisk us and get an Intimidate to the Defiant proc. There's the Intimidate, and there's Defiant. It's totally, totally fine. And they're not Frisk. That's surprising. We are going to just Dragon Dance, and we could technically even protect Gyarados and just Spore that slot. I'll do that. I don't see a problem with that. This thing can get like Hurricanes, Air Slashes, stabs all those moves. I'm not that afraid of it. It also gets Taunt, but like, it's fine. Doesn't get the KO on us. Citrus activates. I like the Citrus. It's good tech. Because like now when we want to switch, right? Now when we switch away on our Generator procs, like we're so safe. So yeah, we don't even technically need to use, I don't even technically need a Dragon Dance because I had a Tailwind up. I will Waterfall there and Hard Switch in Goldango because I think, yeah, okay, cool, that's great. It's good damage on the backs there. I love that. Hurricane's absolutely fine. It would start to get confused. It's not the end of the world. So you have a lot of valuable stuff here. You hit me with a raw Hurricane. I'm going to go for the Make It Rain. And I'm going to double into this slot. Don't need a Fairy Terra just yet. I like the Make It Rain here. It would one-shot the Baxcalibur. They haven't Terra'd yet, but this would also be enough to get the Noivern off the board. They do have the Tailwind up. They do, but like we are bulky. We actually put some bulk on some of these mons, especially the Gyarados, and if they really over-respect the Gyarados here, we're going to be in a good spot. If they want to go for like all in on the Goldango with like a ground Terra Baxcalibur like we fixed one of the teams the other day, like go for it. Then you just lose the ice attack. Awesome. So they have EQ. Hey, that's completely fine. Good play. EQ Baxcalibur. Overcommit to that slot, take big damage on this Honchkrow. And again, we can just come in with Amoonguss here. This is your last Tailwind turn. On this last Tailwind turn, we are definitely going to be going for a Dragon Dance, and we're just going to be popping a Protect. Where do we want to Protect? We do. Yep. So we're setting up the Protect here to block like those attacks right there, and we're setting up the Dragon Dance because now we can pin the Noivern. Awesome. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just Waterfall here, and we're actually going to spoil the Noivern, let it get set up. So we're going to guarantee get the Honchkrow off the board. We should be outspeeding the Noivern right now. 201. Noivern would have to be Scarfed, and we know that it's not. 192 is its high speed stat. So that last turn of Tailwind, getting up the Dragon Dance was absolutely amazing. So we're going to be able to get the Honchkrow off the board. Yes, they can get their Tailwind up, but they're going to eat a Spore for it. And then now we can just go Redirection, have Amoonguss take out the rest of their mons. Like you see how set we are in this exact sort of situation? We haven't even Terra'd yet. We're in a pretty good spot. But let me think about it. I'm thinking here. Waterfall's good. Redirection's good. And the next turn I can Protect. Okay, cool. Yeah. Use Rage Powder here. I think they're going to go... Okay, they're Dragon. They're going to double dip their Dragon typing. Glaive Rush. Ooh, okay. So that means we have Sylveon potentially coming in here. Big damage there. I kind of wish we had just a little bit of quick attack damage here. Not the end of the world, though, because now we know kind of what they want to do. They can't really get any damage out of the Sylveon. They can Icicle Spirit, I guess. And they still have their Kingambit in the back. We're going to go Waterfall here. So they're either going to go for a Dragon Attack in here, which they would never do because we're Fairy, or they're going to go for a Ice Attack. It wouldn't be Earthquake. I'm thinking about Fire Terroring. You know what? We're fine. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. We still have the Fire Terror here. Big damage, and now it's just gonna be us first. I took the calculated risk. I let you take out the Gyarados, and now you have a sleeping Kingambit, and we just do this, and we take it. We take those all the way to the bank. Good game. I think that was a good one. the back tower was a little bit hard to deal with, but I think we weaved in with like the Gyarados, got the right Dragon Dances, redirected, put our Citrus Berry to use. We tried to flex the Scarf a little bit, and we still were able to secure the game with Sylveon. So I think the small changes we make really did work in this game. And yeah, we're gonna go into one more. I think most players would have been taken off guard by that Noivern, but I definitely really think Noivern's good, so I definitely over-respected it, and I think it's that amount of respect that led us to actually win this game. So let's go play another one. I like that. Orthrum's a good mon to test against. Indeedee, Armarouge, Redirection, like, it's good stuff. Let's realistically think about what we need to get done here. I think Goldango can be a very, very underrated mon in this sort of situation, because we can just Fairy Terra and Trick. I think Sylveon's also very, very underrated. I think I'm going to lead Sylveon. Gyarados, actually, with a Mungus. And then I like the Goldango here. I think the Goldango actually can repin a lot of these guys and just be very, very hard for them to get off the board. And we're leading the Gyarados to be able to get Intimidates on this Garchomp to see if they're Clear Amulet. So that looks like they're not Clear Amulet, which, like, this is a good spot for a Gyarados to be in. This is a really, really good spot. Let's think about what we want to do. They might pivot out the Garchomp for Indeedee. And go for, like, an Expanding. I'm going to protect the Gyarados. I think Gyarados is actually really valuable here. And I think I'm just going to yawn into this slot here. There it is. Cool. So we shouldn't lose Sylveon here. They're probably Trick Rooming anyways. Expanding. Wow, just big damage. Yeah, we're not dead, though. Cool. Life Orb. Wow, that was Life Orb. Cool. So now Big Drowsy. I think we're absolutely fine to do a... I'll go for Dragon Dance here, and we can just go for a yawn to that slot. We don't need to Sylveon for anything, and if you actually KO us here, we just open up a slot for Goldango and we'll win the game. Open beyond the Indeedee. There it is. There's a pivot, so we've seen all four of their mons. Protect's absolutely fine. Free Dragon Dance. We take those all the way to the bank. So let's think about what we need to do. Protect's on cooldown. I see absolutely no issue with going for Protect here. I don't think there's anything they can realistically do about it. They want to go into this Sylveon slot, so we're going to switch in a Mungus here. You can Population Bomb it. It's not the end of the world. Cool. Now we have our redirection up. Seeing if I want to Terra. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you can totally still take out the Amoonguss, but, like, it's fine. Like, I knew the Amoonguss was going to run a Population Bomb anyways. Yep. Absolutely, positively okay. Yep. And so now, basically, Make It Rain kills the Garchomp. Or Make It Rain kills this thing. Oh, Indeedee. Okay. Let me think about how I want to do this. Gyarados is right now slower. I don't want to waste my Make It Rain here, but I have to. Cool. They just went like that. So Indeedee's going to go down. Finish off the Moth Squad. And this should be enough to take out the Garchomp too. They haven't Terra'd yet, but like we're fine. Like you see the value that like Scarf. This is exactly the situation where I said like you're using your redirection mon, it goes down mid game. You just bring out like right in the mid game. You bring out that Goldango and just immediately have the pressure. That's the last thing this team needed was like a cleaner. Cool, we should be fine here. I guess they could Water Terra their Garchomp. That would suck. I think that did they already Terra? No, they didn't Terra. Dude, that read on the Mega Man, the Armory switching was sick. Dude, they left. I'll take those all the way to the bank, man. That was such a good play. That was such a good play. And again, like I was talking about, the Goldango with the Scarf gives the team the immediate speed control that it wouldn't normally have. So it lulls your opponent into a false sense of security. They still think their Garchomp is great. They still think their Mousehold is a really, really good mon here. And keeping the Goldango also as well, it disincentivizes some things like Population Bomb. So if you had to lean into like baiting those sort of moves, you kind of can because you have a Ghost type. Like, we didn't have to fodder our Mungus there. We could have just switched in the Goldango, but, you know, we take those wins. And again, I'm going to take a look at that again. I think that was such a good play right here. Like, we go for the Protect. We bait everything, basically. We don't need to lose the Population Bomb. So you see it's those free switches into the Mungus. Like, really, really good stuff here. And then we didn't need to Ground Terra. but like I like the ground Terra as an option in case they left the Inity because it would have been a 2-shot on the Inity, and we already knew the Amoonguss was probably going to go down anyways. Like we actually wanted Amoonguss to go down this turn so that we could immediately get the repin. Like we actually still left Amoonguss on the board. Like if we didn't ground Terra and did less damage to ourselves, leaving the Amoonguss on the board would have made it so if they brought out Garchomp, I would have been able to bring in my Gholdengo and I'd be a little bit pinned. So just go for the big damage here, get both these guys off the board, and like easy peasy lemon squeezy, man. I just didn't think Gyarados had it in him. Didn't think Gyarados had that dog in him this shit, and I thought that Gyarados was on its way out, but man, Gyarados Amoonguss is like probably one of my favorite cores right now. If there's a team you guys want to submit, you guys can still submit your teams on Patreon. We're using a brand new team submitted by viewers basically every single day. Think about checking out the Patreon. Even the lowest tier, $2 tier, really helps YouTubers out. Like YouTube is really not giving any money to content creators all January and February. It's like that every single year. You guys hear all the other content creators talk about it. So think about checking out the Patreon. Think about checking out the link to our Discord if you want to battle people or learn more about competitive Pokemon. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.